Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Cederian Morgan Commitment Watch Party. I'm yours truly, Jackson Johnson. Momentarily, you will see Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports from Alabama with the Voice of College Football and Only Talk Sports joining me. We apologize for these time changes, but we thought it was going to be 11:45, and he was going to commit at noon. We thought it was going to be 1:30, but moments ago, we just got the notification that Morgan is going to be committing at this time. So that's why we're kind of just like juggling the times here and there. So we apologize on that, ladies and gentlemen. We did not think any of that was going to happen, but those things happen. But let me tell you something, folks. Regardless of where he commits to, it's going to be a humongous win. When you look at Cederian Morgan, if he commits to Alabama, he's going to be learning a lot from Ryan Williams. And he's going to have great teammates with the Crimson Tide as well. But if he goes to Auburn, that's a win for the Auburn Tigers. And I'm not saying he'd be like beating Bama in his freshman year, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it would be a humongous win for the Auburn Tigers. Yeah, it would be kind of like reminiscent of Bo Jackson going to Auburn for 82. Kind of like that. And, we're going to show you the highlights of this young man. Let's go ahead and do it, shall we? Yeah, because we're going to wait for we're going to wait from the rock and roll. And this is what you're going to get from Mr. Morgan. Here we go. Rocking and rolling. And, you see more, making that magic. Boom. He's waiting. There you go. He's watching like a hawk. He's waiting for his quarterback. And boom. There's Morgan again. Right there. He's running. For a man who's 6'5", he's got a lot of speed. There he's again, making his run. And boom. Touchdown. See him again. Everybody's watching him. No, they're not. No. Everybody's on. No. Oh, he got a touchdown. See what he could do with a bunch of guys on him? It's amazing. He's tremendous at what he does. Now, let's look at the size. For those who don't know about Cederian Morgan, for who he is exactly, let's go ahead and take a look at him. He's at Benjamin Russell High School in Alexander City. Oh man, it's just a wild ride. I tell you.
Oh yeah, Cederian Morgan has not made it easy on Jackson today or me. Definitely.
Wow.
Was he committing at 1 o'clock? Was he committing at 2 o'clock? And now we're live now. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but did not know that we were going live earlier.
I know, right?
Yeah, how can you keep this straight?
It's like I'm just like juggling.
Crazy.
But we are so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But before we talk about from Jeffrey's perspective about what Cederian Morgan's commit means for each team, check out Crimson Tide Live Mondays at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That time does not change for sure. Where you got Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, Coach Johnny Burks, and myself. And you got Alabama Primetime Live Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time with Coach Smook and Manny Wilson. And the Alabama College Show, where Jeffrey and I take your calls. 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we got the Auburn Primetime Live Show on Auburn at the Voice of College Football, where you are watching Auburn at the Voice of College Football from Blake Lane. Blake Lane is not here, but we are here to promote for him. We are making sure to tell all of you about the magic he's creating. I got to tell you, he's like a freaking magician when it comes to Auburn football. Oh. Well, while we wait for the commercial break to get done with CBS Sports, or they're telling us how great Paramount Plus is, I guess. What does Cederian Morgan committing to Alabama mean for the Crimson Tide if he was to commit?
Oh, it means a ton. I mean, because you look at, the tape that we've both been studying him, his size, the combination of size and speed that he possesses, and lack of ability to let us know when he's committing is remarkable. So like I think that at 6'4", 210 pounds, I mean, and the speed he has to be able to get off the line and just run down the field, and the power. It's not just the speed; he's also very strong. We've seen tons of stiff arms like Derrick Henry that he's pulled off on corners and safeties. Like, he is a strong man. Definitely, it's just a thrill to watch on the field. Like, I know high school film, only shows their best plays, but he's got a whole list of great plays. And he can tell that he's very consistent. That's why he's ranked in the top 15. Like, he's like the 11th ranked player in 247 Sports. So that's how good he is. I'm definitely will be very excited if he ultimately commits to Alabama, because of the fact that I know how dangerous he's going to be in our receiving core starting next season with Ryan Williams, and our other receivers. Like, it's going to be just such a tandem to watch, and it definitely will kind of get Alabama closer to what we used to be in the wide receiver room. If you recall the days of Henry Ruggs, and, sad what happened with him, but Henry Ruggs was such a great player to watch. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, that quartet of receivers we had was so dangerous. And, you get Ryan Williams going, you get, Cederian Morgan and some other receivers, like, you can kind of get back to that point. So it'd be massive for Alabama for us to land Morgan, and definitely hope he does commit to Alabama over Auburn. Be a much better destination for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking about if he does commit to Auburn, and I'll be honest, like before he got here, I compared it to Bo Jackson committing to Auburn for the 1982 recruiting class. Whereas, like, at that time, Auburn was having a humongous losing streak to the Crimson Tide from 1973, 1981. And when Bo Jackson committed to Auburn, it was the best thing to happen for the Auburn Tigers at that time, since Shud Jordan, coaching there. Pat Dye did a tremendous job getting Jackson over. And, Bear Bryant was telling him, you're going to lose 4 years in a row to us. What happens in Bo Jackson's freshman year? The goal line dive, Keith Jackson calling the game, and the Auburn Tigers get their first win since Bama punt in 1972 on 1982 on ABC. And now, if Cederian Morgan was to commit to Auburn, I feel like it would have that same effect. And we've got breaking news. We've got the commit to Alabama right there. Cederian Morgan.
No Auburn, no Bo Jackson. He's coming to the Tide. Roll Tide, roll, baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a humongous win for the Crimson Tide. Like, more 5 stars coming over Tuscaloosa. Now, this is a loss for Auburn.
Absolutely.
But it's not over till they say it's over. Because, I mean, they still technically could flip him, or there's always other targets. I mean, I know, like, Auburn's class is 89th in the nation, I believe. I think it is.
89th?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Okay, they must not have any players committed right now. That's pathetic.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm just like, good grief. It is nuts. Oh, of course, Ted's 50th. Like, good grief. Yep, 89th. I had it right, unfortunately.
I mean, they only have 6 commits, but still, like that, I don't really know how you only have 6 commits at this time of the season. I mean, that's low.
Well, and we're looking at the top wide receivers that are still uncommitted at the moment for the top 10 for 2026. Calvin Russell is uncommitted. Ethan Booby Feaster is uncommitted. Jordan Clay and Xavier McDonald is uncommitted as well.
Mm.
So, what's next for the Tigers now that they're not getting Morgan?
I mean, they're gonna have to find a way to go after some of those other guys. I mean, I don't know if they're in the running with some of them because I mean, I haven't really been following Auburn all that closely with their recruiting. I mean, that's why I was so shocked to hear that they're 89th in the class. You know, so we probably won't be live too long, Burke. You don't have to worry about that. Definitely appreciate you for tuning in, though.
Oh man, but we do have a video where we go over our take on Cederian Morgan. It's like we could tell in the future, so to speak.
Oh yeah. We teleported.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, Auburn, like they're gonna have to find a way to get some quality players, or they're cooked. I mean, I don't know about their recruiting. I'm sure Blake Lane over on the Auburn channel, he'll definitely break it all down and discuss where Auburn is at with recruiting. Definitely, I'm not the best guy in the world for that, but Auburn's got to get their act together. Got to find a way to get some good players because I mean that's not good. Like that is terrible. Absolutely, as Jackson put in the chat, breaking 5-star wide receiver Cederian Morgan commits to Alabama. That's our video right there. So it's big news for Bama. Like I was hoping we would land him because I know how important he would be for Alabama, and like because you look at our receiving core the last couple of years, it frankly hasn't been as impressive. And I do think that has contributed to some of our issues on offense. I do think when we had great players, at the receiving position, it made us so dangerous, even with quarterbacks who arguably you could say weren't the best, like Mac Jones. I don't think anybody was ever saying that Mac Jones was elite, but we had elite receivers and elite O-line, and that's what helped him. But you start adding these insanely talented receivers to our roster like Cederian Morgan, it's just gonna contribute so heavily to our offense and boosting it in 2026 and beyond, for sure.
Agreed. And now that we're like looking at it, so let's look at the team rankings now. Yep, we're creeping on up there. Alabama's creeping on up to the top 5.
At number 6. And Mark told me this. He told me about a week ago Alabama's fine, that they were going to move up once they start getting better players. And Mark Rogers was correct. I mean, we went from like 11th to 6th in just a couple days. So that's awesome.
Agreed. So we're ahead of Miami, and we're closing in on Ohio State and Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Georgia, USC.
And again, USC, it's impressive and all that, but the amount of players they have is why they're number 1. I mean, if you look like Alabama and Ohio State, look at the player average. Like we're right next to each other in player average. So, I mean, basically Alabama and Ohio State, the quality of player that both programs are getting are elite, the best of the best.
Oh, yeah. Like this is a huge win for the Crimson Tide. Like we're just getting more 5 stars. So and it's gonna take a little bit for 247 to kind of update, but this is our 17th commit for the 2026 recruiting class.
Oh, so this isn't even factoring in Morgan yet?
Yeah, apparently not.
Well, I mean, if not, then we might be. I don't know if we'll pass Ohio State yet, but it's definitely going to help. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh, it will. It will. And I'm just kind of like, just more wins, just keeping on coming. They keep on coming in Tuscaloosa. And I know that it looks like a big loss for Auburn, but Hugh Freeze, I mean, he was able to flip a QB from Penn State for 2026, Mr. Falzone. Now, if he could get him, I believe he could figure something out. So don't underestimate the Tigers. We don't underestimate Auburn, especially with Hugh Freeze. I mean, I know things are down and out, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Burke says hopefully Cederian Morgan's done growing because the last thing he wants is he becomes 6'7" like Chris Henry Jr. and drops in the rankings because of his height. That's a good point. I mean, wide receiver is such a delicate thing with height because like being like 6'3", 6'4", it's like amazing because of your height. But then, like you said, if you get too tall, then it is an issue. I mean, I've seen a few 6'5" receivers, 6'6" receivers, and like they have a role in the offense, but they just kind of they become less involved with certain packages. Like you have to have like a set package for them, for it to work. So I do agree with that. Like definitely, hopefully he stays at 6'4". That's like the maximum perfect height, for that type of receiver.
Ooh, there we go. And I'm just like, just getting more and more every day. Oh man, that's funny, Burks. But I don't think the caller is gonna be crying tomorrow night. He's just gonna be flexing about Arch Manning being horse dung.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I could hear that all day and it don't bother me.
Oh yeah. Here we go. And here we go. Yeah, I'm just like I'm just posted the breaking news video on the Instagram stories and like the TikTok, everything all at once. Just like SpongeBob with the vacuum cleaner and the board and everything. Like,
oh, you got to get that content out immediately, man. That's the way the sports stuff works. You got to be breaking right on top of it, or otherwise, like it's gonna get buried. I mean, there's probably like hundreds of channels and people talking about this very same thing right now. So you know how it is. Like it's a big deal. Like a top 15, top 10 player commits, to Alabama or to any big school. People are going to be all over that.
But yeah, but of course we always love what we do here.
Absolutely, and we appreciate all of you guys for showing up. Like I know it's a little unconventional time. Definitely, it's easier for people to tune in when it's like a afternoon or like night commit, versus during the day. I think, it is tougher, for people to tune in, but definitely appreciate it if you like on your lunch break or, able to watch. Some people are able to watch stuff like this at work. And if you're able to, like that's awesome, definitely appreciate it. But Cederian Morgan, I mean, again, he made it very tough on all of us. Like, because I mean, he changed his commitment time 3 times. Like, I don't think he knew what he wanted to do, honestly.
It's like to be or not to be.
That is the question. But it was to be for Alabama because we were able to land him. And no flips. No flips to Auburn. I know Jackson said you never know. He could still change his mind. We don't want that. We don't want to see that in Bama land. So hopefully he stays committed to Bama throughout the rest of this recruiting cycle. Because, I mean, flips are possible.
But that doesn't mean we won't tell you to tune in to Alabama at the Voice College Football on X, Instagram, and TikTok. So if you don't know where it's at, give it a follow at Alabama VOCFB. VOCFB is in all capitals. No worries there. You can find it on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Same way with Auburn at the Voice College Football. Same way. You can find it on X, Instagram, and TikTok, where you can see the magic of Blake Lane creating that magic on the primetime live show, creating that magic on the clips that he makes. I got to tell you, he's like a freaking magician. I mean, I know I'm impressed with him. I swear, it's like a lot of the guys here with the beards. I mean, they're like wizards. It's like they're learning from Merlin. So,
oh man, or Dumbledore.
Oh, there you go. I mean, Dumbledore makes magic all over the place. But before we go, you tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Post about the magic that Jeffrey makes at Only Talk Sports, including the live stream that he, Austin, and myself collabed on, where we discussed our top 10 QBs for the 2025 college football season. Let's get our boy over to 3,000 subs. I mean, we got to get him rocking and roll. We got to get him to 20,000 followers on @/Twitter. And once we can somehow get him to Instagram, let's get him to 2,000 followers.
You never know. Appreciate it, Jackson.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's the least I could do, man. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal channel at Jat, on where I have my latest episodes of the Jacksonian, my live stream with Austin and Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports on the top 10 QBs for 2025 college football season. And for more updates on what I've got going on Alabama, the voice of college football, or the Jackson, check me out on Jackson BOCFB on /Twitter and Instagram and threads at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And you can check out Alabama Crimson Tide Live and Alabama Primetime Live on your favorite audio platform on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. And of course, you can check out Auburn Live, Auburn Primetime Live on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. Please leave a rating and review for each of these channels. And with that being said, we give out a like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell to each of these 3 channels that we are live streaming on, so you never miss another video or another live stream whatsoever. And we will see you soon. And roll Tide. But that other thing I'm not saying, but we'll save that for the Auburn guys. We'll see you later, and y'all have an awesome afternoon.